Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Whistle Stop.
So, if you have watched my Gamesplained of Whistle Stop, you'll have an idea of how this game plays. I have set the game up to be a two-player game. The only difference is the number of trains that you set up to start with. So for a 2 or 3 player game, you're setting up all 5 trains. In a 4-player game, you're setting up only 4 of the trains, and in a 5-player game, you're setting up only 3 of the trains. So let's get straight into it. Blue is the first player. The very first thing that he does is gives each player, including himself, 2 calls. This is how you track how long the game is going for. It is now his turn. So I'm going to turn these tiles over. These tiles are in the hand. I'll do that for both players. It's just a little bit easier for on camera for us to see it rather than me having to flip it over every time. In the rules, it doesn't actually state if those are closed tiles or not closed tiles. I've made an assumption that they are, but there's nothing in the rules that actually states whether they're closed or if they're public information. So it's Blue's turn. The very first thing that Blue wants to do is he wants to connect to this coal so he can get some extra coal. The other thing that he will need to do is work out a way to get some red tokens. So what he might do is he'll use 1 coal to move this train to here, which gets him a brown cube. He's then going to spend a coal again to let him come onto this one, so that will get him a red cube. He will then use that one to move forward to get a blue cube, and he has 1 more coal left. He thinks that there's probably some value in pushing this guy forward to here to take a brown cube, and that was the 4th piece of coal. That coal now gets discarded because it's been used. He now draws another 2 tiles, so he thinks he'll grab that one, and he thinks he'll grab that one as well. They now then get replaced. There's always 3 available at the end of your turn. Okay, it's Pink's go now. Pink is going to use 1 tile to do that, which gets him a green. He's going to use 1 to do that, which gets him a white. He's going to use 1 to keep that guy coming forward onto this track, which brings him right across to here and gains him 2 more coal. And he likes the idea of moving that guy forward to get a blue with 1 of the extra coals. He then refills. He thinks there might be value in grabbing that one. Then we remove all of the spent items. Back over to this player. So these coal get sent out to everyone, and Blue continues on. This player thinks because he's got 2 browns, he's actually going to use them to grab the extra boiler, which now allows him to hold 5 tiles instead of the 3, so he can grab another 2 tiles if he likes. He definitely likes the idea of that, so he'll grab this one. He might go for a blind one, and then that gets replaced out. If the other player buys this one off him, he's going to have to reduce himself down to 3 again, but for the moment he can use 5 tiles in his hand. The first thing he's going to do is he'll spend 1 of his coal to move to here, which gains him 2 more coal. He'll spend 1 of those coal to move up here to gain a red. He'll spend 1 of those coal to come back down and grab 2 more coal, and he's going to move this guy along here to get a white as his other movement. Okay, so we remove those coals. He comes back up to the 5 tiles in hand, and he thinks he might actually grab a blind one. So it's got that. Back to Pink. Pink is going to go to there. So that was one of his coals. To do that gets him a red cube. He will move this one to here, which gets him a white cube. And that was the second movement. This one can't move because that one's blocking his way. So what he might do is use that to go to here, which gets him green. And he thinks he might actually try to come down here. So he's trying to get this guy down here. So he will spend the coal to move this train that way, gets him to there. That way gets him to there, and he'll put this in, which pushes there, and that gets him another whistle. So he clears his coal as well and takes in some extra tiles. He thinks he desperately needs that one. He might grab that one and he'll go blind one as well, and then they get replaced. Each player now gets a whistle. It's this guy's turn. He will move this one for one of his coal. That gets him a grey. He'll move this guy to here for the second coal, which will get him a green. He'll spend a whistle to move this guy to here, which gets him a brown. That's probably enough for him for the moment. So he spends all of those resources over to pink, who has 3 whistles. So he's going to spend 1 whistle, to there, to bring this guy back to here, which gains him 2 cubes. It's probably worthwhile grabbing a red and another white. And he thinks that he might spend 2 of those whites to get that guy, which now allows him to spend a coal to do 2 trades, which is instead of going to the trading post, and it's the same thing as a trading post. Spend another whistle to do that, which gets him a red cube. He'll spend the 3rd whistle to come down to here, which gets him 2 more coal, and he'll spend 1 of those coal to bring that guy to there, which gets him a white cube as well. Those whistles have all been used. That coal has been used. We now come to this turn, so 2 coal to each of them, and blue's turn. Blue is going to spend 1 of his coal, throw that there, so this guy will move, this guy will move forward to get the white. He is going to use a coal again to move onto this, which costs a blue and a green, which he has, so he'll spend those. That gets him 10 points and 1 of these tokens, and he thinks that he will spend that whistle to go 1 more, actually take it to there, which uses the white and the red and gets him 7 more points and gets him 1 of those tokens as well. He now comes back up to the 5 pieces, and he thinks he's just going to live dangerously, and he'll take 2 blind cards. The other player is going to go 1 to move to there, grab a red, another 1 to move to there to grab a whistle. He's going to pay another 1 to move to there. He turns in a red, blue and green cubes, which gains him 25 points, and he is able to put his token up the top, and he thinks there might be value at the moment just going there, which gets him a blue cube and 2 more coal tokens, and he'll spend a whistle to move that guy 2 spots forward, which gets him white, because he's going to go for that one. Okay, he's done all of his things that he can do, so he loses those tokens he spent, and we get some more coal. This player should have taken another tile, and he thinks there's probably value in grabbing that one. Okay, so coal's been handed out and we're back into the game. I'm going to jump forward to the end of the game, so please bear with me. Okay, and we are up to the last round. As you can see, Pink has managed to get 3 of his trains all the way across this line, and I fear that he's going to get all the way across. His counter is here, so he's got 104 at the moment, whereas Blue only has 54 at the moment. I'm not convinced Blue has enough in him to catch up, but let's see what happens. So, from the outset, Blue will spend 1 coal to bring this guy in, allowing him to use those, getting 25 points, and that puts him up here somewhere, and he thinks he'll go there, which he'll use the question mark to gain a gold, which is worth 4 points at the end of the game, and that got him 2 whistles. He will spend a whistle to bring this guy home. So he's got, at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. 6 times 4 is 24 points. There's his 24 points. He now needs to return 1 of these, and he thinks he's going to return his blue because he's the only one who's actually taken any blues. And he gets put up the top here. So thinking through his stuff, he's got a possible white and red. He really needs a white. So what he thinks he'll do, he'll go there, which gets him that white that he's looking for. It also gets him 1 more coal and 1 more whistle, which now allows him to use a coal to move to there, using that white and grey that he's just picked up to get 5 more points and 1 of those tokens. And he'll move this guy to here using a white and a red. That gets him that last token and 7 points. So we now go over to the other player. He thinks he'll put that one in there, allowing this train to come down to here. 1 coal, that gets him a green cube. He spends a whistle to bring this guy in here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his tokens, which is worth 20 points. And he needs to return 1, so he'll return that one. And he will choose to go somewhere that will get him a whistle. He thinks it's probably worthwhile going for that one, which gets him a red cube, a coal, and a whistle. He can now use that whistle that he's just picked up to bring this guy down to here, which gets him a grey cube. Not that he really needs that, but he'll use that last coal to bring that guy home. He has 4 things there, so it's 16 more points. 16 points there, and he needs to return 1 of his things. He's going to return the yellow one because it's obvious the other guy doesn't have any. And that is game. So we go to the final count up of points. First thing, we score each stock type. So they both have 1 of these, but Pink has the number 1. So Pink gets the 15 points for that one. We come down to Blue. Blue only has that, so he gets the 15 points. Then we come to Yellow, which is Pink again. 15 points for that one. Then we come to Red, which Blue has 4 of them, Pink only has 1. So there's that 15 points for that. Then scored points for the upgrades. So there's 5 points there, there's another 3, so that's 8 points for Blue. 5 and 5, so that's another 10 points for Pink. Add the fame from the gold token, so 4 points and 8 points for Pink. 1 point for each unused common resource, so there's 1 point for Blue. There's 1, 2, 3 points for Pink. 3 points for each unused rare resource, so that's another 6 points for Pink. 1 point for every 2 tokens you've got left, so there's 3 tokens there, so he's only getting 1 more point for Blue. There's only 1 more token there. No points for that. Lose 10 points for each of these. These still has. That's a mistake, but there you have it. So Blue loses 10 points. I think he may have had the tokens to be able to actually use that, but that's okay. And that, my friends, is game. Pink is obviously the winner. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be Gamesplayed, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.